All right. I'm sorry. I meant... All right.
But in all seriousness, everybody, it's time to get started with more One Piece. Sorry, I was messing with my voice mods today, and I just wanted to make sure that everything audio-wise was good. There was nothing wrong with, speech or anything, so I was just kind of messing with it. But let's go ahead and get started with today's reading of One Piece. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome, like I said, back to yet another One Piece live reading. Today, we are going to be going through volume 43 of the series titled Legend of a Hero. Aha! And I'm good. Lips is all, Vaselined. Body is nice and smooth and washed. Got Old Spice on. I'm feeling extra fresh today. Let's go ahead and get started with today's volume. And it feels like it's going to be a thick one. I feel like this is going to have 11 chapters as well, because it kind of feels kind of thick. This is going to be a heavy one. The Story of One Piece, volume 43. 10 chapters today? Huh. The way it felt like 11. This feels like an 11 chapter sized book, but oh well. All right, I'll take it. Gives me extra time to get ready for more Final Fantasy 16 today. The Story of One Piece, volume 43. Monkey D. Luffy started out as just a kid with a dream to become the greatest pirate in history. Stirred by the tales of pirate red-haired Shanks, Luffy vowed to become a pirate himself. That was before the enchanted devil fruit gave Luffy the power to stretch like rubber, at the cost of being unable to swim, a serious handicap for an aspiring sea dog. Undeterred, Luffy set out to sea and recruited some crewmates: Master Swordsman Zoro, treasure-hunting thief Nami, lying sharpshooter Usopp, the high-kicking chef Sanji, Chopper, the walking-talking reindeer doctor, and the mysterious archaeologist Robin. After many adventures have left their ship the Merry Go in less than seaworthy condition, the Straw Hat crew set sail for the city of Water 7 in the hopes of finding a shipwright to join their crew. There they learn that the ship is beyond repair, so Luffy reluctantly decides to find a new ship. Usopp, however, is fiercely opposed to this decision and leaves the crew. The covert government agency Cypher Pole Number 9 has also come to Water 7, looking for the blueprints for the ancient weapon, the Pluton. They capture Robin and the hot-headed ship dismantler Frankie, both of whom are key to unlocking the Pluton's secrets. Luffy and the crew come to their rescue and succeed in rescuing Frankie, but Robin is taken to the judicial island Enies Lobby. As CP9's leader Spandam leads Robin to the gates of justice, he accidentally presses the button for a buster call, which summons the Navy to annihilate Enies Lobby and everyone on it. The Straw Hats don't have a moment to lose if they want to get out alive. So today we are going to be going through chapters 410 all the way down to 419. Let's begin, and the first page we get is one of Panda Man. Chapter 410, Super-Sized Nami. And we cut back to the fight between Luffy and Lucci, where they both clashed with fists and launched each other to the opposite ends of the room. And Luffy is huffing and puffing, with Luffy going, "Out of my way! Robin's past that door, isn't she?" "She is, but you'll never see her again." And then it cuts to people screaming. It cuts to Navy and agent personnel running and screaming, going, "It's a buster call! If we stay here, we'll all die! Bring a ship around to the gates of justice! Prepare for departure! The Navy's gonna annihilate this place!" And then it cuts to everyone vacating the courthouse, but all the members of Galley Law and the Frankie family are still tied up in there. "We've been left behind." "Hey, what are we gonna do? We're in danger!" "We've been in danger since we set foot on the island."
What about Bro? What'll happen to him?"
"Yeah, if he doesn't come back, we can't go home together. The Straw Hats, too."
"And what about us? What'll happen to everyone?"
Then it cuts to Jabra and Kaku, still in the same room.
"We can't waste any time either.
We gotta clean this up and hurry to the gates of justice." "I've got it. Your name is No Storm the Killer Blade.
This is no time to be thinking of good names! Chopper!
And mind you, Chopper is still climbing on the outside of the building after, he basically bodied Kumadori and sent him flying all the way down into the courtyard in front of the courthouse. Then we cut back to Luffy and Lucci. And Luffy cracks his knuckles and taps his feet on the ground, like get the dust out. And he immediately rushes Lucci, and he grabs Lucci and shoulder throws and throws him over. And mind you, I just watched a little bit of this fight last night, so it's still kind of fresh seeing these panels and also remembering the animation that kind of follows this kind of immensely. But Luffy throws Lucci and makes a mad dash for the door. Lucci gets out of the rubble, dusts himself off, and then he speeds over to where Lucci is and proceeds to kick him away, sending Luffy flying to the other side of the room. And wow, okay, so watching the animation and reading this chapter after watching the animation, it's like the animation got so many things right for these panels. As something is on my eye, what is that? I literally felt it. There's always an interruption whenever I'm trying to read. But Lucci launches Luffy to the other side of the room, and he lightly lands on the tips of his toes. Kind of like Yujiro Hanma when he was doing that unnecessary splits when we first see him. And then he launches into the air, does a full somersault, knocks the flame out of his cigarette, and then lightly, daintily lands on the tips of his toes. Lucci does the same thing and looks to the side as a whole shipping container gets launched at him, and as he prepares to block it, he's noticed it cracking as Luffy basically tries to use Gum Gatling on Lucci through the box. But Lucci shaves out of the way, and he just dodges everything that Luffy's trying to hit him with. And then it cuts to Lucci trying to hit Luffy, but Luffy blocks with his leg. And Luffy hits Lucci. There's going to be a lot of mistaken names said here with me going between Luffy and Lucci. And they continue their clash. No words are being spoken right now. This is just full on. Their fists are doing the talking. Lucci's blocking moves from Luffy. Luffy's blocking moves from Lucci. He tries to kick Lucci, and Lucci ducks. And then Lucci is looking. Lucci's looking. He slides past Lucci. While Lucci is dodging Luffy, he slides past him and winds up hitting Luffy in multiple spots, sending him toppling over to the side. And while Luffy's getting himself back up, Lucci is wiping his face, and Luffy runs at Lucci and tries to hit him with bazooka, but Lucci blocks with his leg. And then we cut to another section of the Tower of Law as we cut back to Khalifa versus Nami.
This place got crowded all of a sudden. We won't live long if we stay here. If you're gonna run, leave the key, okay? Shave. Sorry. Huh? I wanted to play a while longer, but...
And it cuts to Khalifa, who starts rubbing soap all over Nami's body, just like everywhere, leaving no space untouched.
Uh-oh! You and I have to evacuate too.
And she just rubs all over Nami's body and just covers her in soap. And then we just see Nami unable to do anything about it. And then we cut to Nami's shape and Khalifa going,
Golden bubbles!
And then we see Nami, whose outline is completely smoothed over.
It's the technique she used on Sanji, but I was being so careful. Yeah, I can barely hold the climate baton. My whole body is slippery. It's hard to stand up.
And we see Nami, whose entire body has been smoothed out. There's no edges on Nami save for the ends of her hair. But she's completely smoothed out because of Khalifa's devil fruit power.
What have you done to my body? Not a single wrinkle or pore is left on your body. Now your skin is perfect. I'm jealous. Of course, your ability to fight is halved.
You should give up on my key.
I won't! Cool charge!
It's useless. Playtime is over. Tempest kick! And then Khalifa hits Nami,
No!
but it turns out to be a mirage.
Huh? Mirage tempo. I'm over here.
She's fast, but how? Finger pistol! And Khalifa winds up hitting another mirage of Nami. Another fake. Where is she this time?
Here! Over here!
And it cuts to Khalifa looking, and there's like a crackling sound that's happening right next to her. And she's looking, and that crackling sound is Chopper bursting through the wall, who's still in his, berserk state right now. And he bursts right into Khalifa's room, growling. And he's just roaring, and Nami sees it going,
What's that?
and then it cuts to Khalifa going,
She's supersized? So she's got powers too.
what a ditz, goes Nami, because Khalifa actually thinks that Chopper is Nami turned into like a big, large creature. And that's the end of chapter 410, onwards to 411, but first, an SBS. Reader, this is the news at noon. As a result of a CP9 meeting at 11 o'clock this morning, it appears that a buster call was made on manga creator Eiichiro Oda's house. Everyone who lives nearby, everyone except Eiichiro Oda, should evacuate immediately. Signed, Zoro's wife.
Why y'all trying to take out the man who created the series? Will he ever do to y'all?
Oda, what? A buster call? Uh-oh, but I can't run away because children all over the world are waiting for the question corner. Not really. Question. Dear Oda-sensei, this is about Robin's Cinco Fleur. What language are Robin's attacks in, and how about a new attack called Stinko Fleur? Sign, Heita. Answer. I see. The word Cinco reminds you of Stinko, so you're saying she should have a fart attack. You're awful. We're talking about a technique for the lovely Robin. Stinko. That's good! As for what language it is, haven't I answered that before? He did, in fact, answer this before. Oh, well, it's Spanish, so it goes uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. And then, like that. You've heard some of these before, haven't you? So, yeah. So, the first half, like we've already realized, the first half of Robin's attack are said in Spanish, while the fleur is in French. So, yeah. That's the end of the question corner. Onwards to chapter 411, Nami versus Khalifa. Miss Golden Week's Big Plan, a Baroque Reunion, Volume 40. Everyone's here to open New Spider's Cafe. And it cuts to pretty much everyone convening at this cafe, as we see Mr. 5 putting up letters for the cafe. We see Mr. 4 serving food. Miss Doublefinger is continuing her guise as Paula. We got Miss Valentine showing a cake to Miss Golden Week, while Miss Golden Week is painting Miss Doublefinger, and Lasso is just chilling and sleeping in the background. But we cut back to Chopper, Monster Chopper, as he's crashing into the room.
He's turning into an animal, your trump card? That's not me! Still, he looks like...
And Nami notices the antlers and the hat.
A reindeer? And there's no mistaking the hat and the mark. But... that can't be Chopper. What kind of beast user are you? Moonwalk!
As Khalifa goes up and uses Moonwalk to get to the face of Chopper,
Tempest kick!
and kicks Chopper directly in the face.
Hey! Stop that! Huh? Chopper! Aren't you Chopper? How did you end up?
And then it cuts to Chopper, who's looking at Nami, and she barely has enough time to, kind of jump out of the way before Chopper tries to smash her.
Maybe he doesn't recognize me because I look like this. Aren't you Chopper? I'm telling you, I never thought that was you.
And then Nami is just ignoring Khalifa. A little late, but you're here. We just started chapter 411. We just went through 410 for Volume 33, Ozzy, so you're still right on time. Enjoy yourself while you're here.
I'm telling you, I never thought that was you. Chopper!
And she's ignoring Khalifa, and Khalifa just thinks,
how rude.
And then Chopper continues to growl and roar.
Chopper, what's wrong? Look closely, it's me, Nami!
And then it cuts to Chopper picking up Khalifa's entire bathtub.
Chopper! Chopper, stop!
And it cuts to Chopper, I guess, throwing the entire bath through a wall out into the stairwell outside. And the person that's at the bottom of the stairwell is still Sanji! And we just see the bathtub falling closer and closer to Sanji, and then there's a panel where there's a loud crash. Then we still have Nami in the room with Chopper.
Hey, Sanji's at the bottom of the stairs. Where did this monster wander in from? Don't hurt him! He's my friend!
And then Chopper continues to roar as we see Chopper still going on a rampage and smashing his way through the room, and he gets to the stairwell. And then we just see the utter ruins of Khalifa's room. I wonder how long she's had this room and how much she's kept it tidy, only for it to be destroyed by a big old giant monster Chopper.
What happened to Chopper? Uh-oh, I have to stop him. That's your friend? Pirates sure keep strange pets. Chopper! How rude!
As it shows Nami still ignoring Khalifa and being more concerned about Chopper.
You can try to stop the monster all you want, but my mission is to stop you, and I'm completing it now!
Hogaland, the man with the plan.
And I'm completing it now! Tempest kick!
And she tries to kick in the direction of Nami.
Uh-oh! Even the bottom of my feet are slippery! I can't dodge!
And it shows Nami barely managing. Oh, that was a typo. You meant to say Kohagen. But Nami barely has enough time to dodge out of the way, much to her surprise.
I dodged it! Oh, my leg's back to normal.
As it shows Nami's right foot has turned back into its original state.
But why? What caused it? It got wet during the fight. That's it! Water! I can wash away the soap power with water!
And Nami sees water shooting up from where Khalifa's bathtub used to sit, and she starts to run over to it. But not before Khalifa shaves in front of her and kicks Nami away with extreme force.
Not so fast. You may have figured out how to undo the golden bubbles, but that doesn't mean I'll let you. Sheep cloud, relaxing bubbles!
And then an endless amount of clouds, bubbles just emanate from Khalifa.
I'll blow them away with wind!
And it cuts to Nami configuring the climate baton.
Cyclone? Ah!
And then it cuts to the baton falling through her fingers.
Uh-oh, it's no use.
And then it cuts to Nami being engulfed in soap once again.
Bendy finger pistol! The baton!
And it cuts to Nami grabbing her baton before Khalifa manages to hit Nami directly in the shoulder with this bendy finger pistol. I don't know the specifics of it because I didn't really look into CP9's members all that much. But she hits Nami directly in the shoulder and sends her flying with enough force to hit like a wardrobe in the background. And then Nami slowly starts to get up.
Thank you. Knock me around like that and you'll knock away these annoying bubbles. Talk tough. Tough talk. If you like, I can knock you around until you die. I see a different forecast. Cloudy tempo. This isn't like my old magic show. Clouds. Thunderbolts again. A thin cloud like that won't make thunder, but according to my forecast, there is... How did she... That's not possible! A chance of rain! Cool ball!
And it cuts to Khalifa, who tries to kick in the direction of Nami, and Nami manages to block it with her baton.
Rain tempo!
And it starts to rain over Nami. and both Nami and Khalifa start to get wet.
That's so not cute. After all I went through to give you smooth skin. If not fighting back is your idea of cute, then I'm glad not to be. Cool charge!
And then Nami creates a cool charge around one end and moves a big old sheet, so to speak, of the cool charge in front of her, which causes Khalifa to see the area in front of Nami just be enveloped by this film that renders Nami invisible.
Huh? Mirage tempo! She's gone!
Like, Nami literally just disappears because she's bending the light around her. That's really kind of a cool concept when you think about it.
I've been watching your moves. I think I finally understand your power. Huh? And CP9's strength. Now let's see. How well do you know me?
And it shows different forms of Nami, different mirages of Nami being created. Like a tall, lanky version of Nami, a short, squat version. Trying to remember, were the golden bubbles actually gold in the anime? Let's look it up. Let's see. Khalifa. Devil Fruit. The Awa Awa no Mi. What's fun is that she actually, the voice actress for Khalifa actually made like a song about her devil fruit power. Okay, so there's an image that shows the golden bubbles. They're regular bubbles with like a golden. They're kind of like a golden light inside, like a golden shine inside the bubbles itself. So that's how it looks. It would be cool if Nami would learn the 6 powers. It would be useful for the people that don't have devil fruit abilities on the Straw Hat crew. But back to Nami and her mirages, we see a squat, round version of Nami, a short version of Nami.
Now let's see how well you know me. Mirage tempo. Fata Morgana!
And it shows Nami just surrounded by her own different size mirages and different shape mirages.
Mirages like before. I bet only one is real. That's right, one is me. 4 are phantoms that I wove together from cold air and reflected on the layer of air. And Thunderball!
And with this Thunderball, Nami launches one, but all of her Mirage clones launch one, so it's kind of tricky to tell which one's the real one.
Only 1 in 5 of those balls is real. Try and dodge the right ones. Uh-oh, I let down my guard.
And then Khalifa is completely electrified by the ones that are real, and to the point where even her hair stands on end. And she's just electrocuted right then and there. And that's the end of chapter 411. We got an SBS, and then we can move on to chapter 412. Question: is the origin for Sodom and Gomorrah in the depraved towns of Sodom and Gomorrah in the Old Testament? Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed by God. Did you decide to have the world government represent the overwhelming power of God in the story? Signed, Yoiko. Oda. One Piece isn't that deep of a story. It really isn't. That's where I got their names, though. Question: I'd like to know the name of the old man who gave Usopp rice balls in volume 36. He's a good person. Signed, Nice Old Man. Answer: oh yes, that made me happy. I thanked the old guy even as I drew him. He's a carpenter now, but he used to be Happa, the bandit with a heart. He moved there from the town of Good Food, Pucci. He's divorced and currently single, meaning he made the rice balls himself. Water 7's famous dish, water meat, was inside the rice balls, so they tasted good. Question: punches aren't supposed to work on Luffy, so why does he get goose eggs and bruises when Nami and the others beat him up? Please tell me why. Signed, Zororin Love. Answer: when friends beat on each other, it's mostly to teach them a lesson. Their punches work because they're full of compassion. They work on one's heart. Nami probably thinks, my blows hurt my heart. Okay, so maybe she doesn't. It's really for comedic effect. Chapter 412, You Missed Your Chance. Miss Golden Week's Big Plan, A Baroque Reunion, Volume 41. Mr. 0, 1, 2, and 3. As it shows Crocodile and Mr. 1 in a jail cell. As we see Mr. 3 and Mr. 2 and Mr. 3 getting thrown in with them. What arc? We're still in Enies lobby. We are dealing with the Straw Hats going up against CP9 right now. The only ones who are left are Khalifa, Kaku, Jabra, and Lucci. Whereas Fukudo and Kumadori have already been bodied by Frankie and Chopper, respectively. So we're kind of left at that mark. But we're still in the Water 7 saga and the Annie's Lobby arc. We're still there. Chapter 412, You Missed Your Chance. And it cuts to Khalifa, who's fried from being electrocuted. And then she drops to her knees, but she's still not down, though. And then we see Nami with her Mirage clones all at the ready.
My climate baton is a lot more powerful now. Even a mere thunderball is enough to knock you down. Just wait until I bring out the next technique. You're going down! Another of your predictions? How cheeky. It's not a prediction. It's a forecast. I've taken control of the humidity and temperature. This groom's climate belongs to me.
And then Nami starts charging up like an attack in her baton.
So what if you've taken control of the climate? The 6 powers are beyond human reach. You are so rude!
And then it cuts to Khalifa, who tries to hit Nami, but this Nami turns out to be a mirage.
It's not the real one. Today, the chance of hitting the real me is 20%.
And then it cuts to Khalifa hitting this mirage, and she keeps hitting different mirages, but none of them are real. And then she looks at one oddly shaped clone that's behind her, and it turns into the real Nami.
As for today's skies, we've got a high-pressure zone coming in. That's creating a small black cloud with the force of a tempest. It'll remain stationary until it pierces your chest with thunder. Those who are afraid of getting shocked are advised to stay inside. Dark cloud tempo!
And then Nami creates like this big dark cloud that's at the front of the ends of her batons.
You saw how I guard against thunderbolts. So long as I pay attention, you won't be able to move if you stand. You won't be able to.
Oh, wait. I think this is Nami going.
So as long as I pay attention, you won't be able to move if you stand guard like that.
Oh, wait. This is Nami saying this.
You won't be able to move if you stand guard like that.
And then Khalifa goes,
You underestimate me. Are you challenging me to beat that with an attack? Soap sheep!
As Khalifa covers herself in bubbles again.
I don't have to guess which one's the real one. A big wave of relaxing bubbles will swallow you all. Sheep cloud tidal wave!
And it's just like a big wave of bubbles that washes towards her clones.
If it hits me, I'm done for. I'll swallow you all. The one that falls down will be the real you.
And then Nami throws one section of her baton through the tidal wave, and it basically creates this hole for Nami to escape through. Called
Cyclone Tempo!
And it is enough to cause even Khalifa to put her hands up to her face.
She's using wind to blow away the bubbles.
And it shows all of her Mirage clones running towards the wave, but only one gets through.
It seems the one who escaped is the real you.
And it's Chibi, and one of the Mirages of Nami, which is basically Chibi Nami, grows back up to the real size of Nami, and she's looking in the direction of where Khalifa is. But then Khalifa appears directly in front of her and gets her with a
finger pistol! Oh, I thought that was another illusion.
And then Nami drops down.
You won't escape again.
I'm going to punch you full of holes.
It seems you've forgotten that a navigator's weather forecast is always right.
Huh? And then it shows that dark cloud tempo still there.
Lightning will flash from the black cloud to the climate baton. Come on, it's the cloud from before.
As the black cloud starts to shimmer and shake and get filled with lightning.
Thunderland's tempo!
And then from that black cloud, a long beam of lightning shoots from it directly through Khalifa all the way to the end of Nami's climate baton. And this is the one that puts down, this looks like the one that puts down Khalifa because her glasses break, there's smoke coming out of her mouth, and her eyes are completely whited over.
No matter how strong you are, my forecast is never wrong.
And then Khalifa drops to the ground. Yep, Khalifa's down.
My friends are waiting. Give me the key.
And then it cuts to Frankie.
Where's that deer gorilla?
Huh? Frankie, what are you doing here?
Hey, miss. Didn't your deer gorilla come through here?
Dear? Chopper? Yes, he did. What's going on? What happened to Chopper?
I don't know. I'd like to know that myself. Can he shapeshift like that?
I don't know. I've never seen that form before.
Oh, I thought you guys might know some way to deal with it. Well, shall we kill him?
Don't ever say that again!
As it shows that Nami basically beat up Frankie from that comment.
By the way, you really know how to fight. Did you beat her? Her key's important. Key number 2.
Key? That's right. I was looking for it. Key. Where did you hide it?
And then it cuts to Nami, who's basically just ripping the clothes off of Khalifa. Just ripping all of her clothes off. And Frankie's all in the background like,
nice.
But we don't see in great detail. Then we cut back to the tower where Usopp is screaming,
Ah! Stop it!
and then it cuts to Zoro and Usopp running away from a crazed Chopper.
Hey, is that really Chopper? Why doesn't he recognize us?
I don't know, but it has to be Chopper. Who else has horns and a hat like that?
Where's key number 2? So where's our hope?
I don't know. It's no use. We're gonna die.
Something's wrong with him. He's the one who looks like he's gonna die.
And it cuts to Chopper, who's breathing heavily in this monsterized state, and he's even bleeding from the mouth a little.
It's like he's losing his life force fast.
What's happening to him?
That form might be draining too much energy. If we don't do something, he'll run out of strength any minute now.
What? We're in serious trouble!
Then it cuts to Kaku and Jabra. Who's the monster? He's in our way.
Looks like one of the pirates.
We don't have time for this. The buster call's been made.
We'll kill anyone who gets in our way.
And then it cuts to Chopper looking at Kaku and Jabra.
They're gonna attack Chopper! Stand up straight, no...
Stand up straight, notes kill the killer blade. 336-pound Phoenix!
As Zoro swings Usopp with all of his might and still manages to shoot off a shockwave even though Usopp is holding the sword. And it sends that shockwave goes right towards Kaku.
Why you? Out of the way, guys! It's him.
Frankie, what are you gonna do? This guy is our...
I know, so shut up. There's no other way. A power user has one weak point. I'll blow him into the sea. Don't worry, I'm dialing it back, so back off. I'm dialing it down, so back off.
And as he aims at Chopper,
coup de van!
And then he blasts Chopper outside of the tower.
Frankie, you jerk! You could have heard...
Don't worry.
Oh, wait.
Don't worry. We worked it out together.
Huh?
As it looks like Nami showed up. And then it cuts to Chopper falling into the ocean, and then Frankie's going after him. Frankie is diving in after him. And we go back to the floor with Kaku and Jabra.
What are they up to? They're fighting each other. Huh?
And then someone's in the smoke behind Jobber and Kaku. Are you finally free to fight? I wouldn't laugh if I were you. You're gonna be sorry. You won't get another chance to beat me, world government goons. As it shows that Nami has freed Zoro and Usopp, and Zoro's free to fully fight the way he wants. There we go! And I love how Usopp is like off to the side leaning with his Kabuto next to his shoulder like he's all cool and collected. And Nami's, like she's posing in the background as well, but Zoro brandishing his swords like this man is fully ready to fight now. That's the end of chapter 413. Well, that's the end of chapter 412. Onwards to chapter 413, Hunter. Miss Golden Week's big plan, a Baroque reunion, the finale. Sentenced to incarceration in the great prison Impel Down. Crocodile, Daz Bones, Mr. 1, Mr. 2, Bon Clay, and Mr. 3. And that's all of them. And then we cut back to the state of Eni's lobby itself as everyone is trying to... It's bending my pages out. I'm trying to see if there's one... There's like a security tab or something. We cut to the state of Eni's lobby as everyone's trying to make their way out. The Buster Call fleet is almost here!
The bombing will begin any minute now! Everyone off the island!
And it cuts to Robin running down the stairs with Spandam just yelling at her.
Nico Robin, wait! Even if you go back, there is nothing but dead pirates! Give it up! Show her, Funkfried! Avoid her vital organs!
And then it cuts to his sword extending and getting close to Robin.
Ivory Dart!
As he tries to stab at Robin. Then there's a crash and a little bit of blood as from the point of impact as it destroys like a portion of the stairwell as well. With Spandam smiling going,
You won't escape, silly woman. Don't take me lightly. Now let's go through the doors of dreams together.
And it cuts to the water outside, and it cuts to Frankie, who's back on land, and we see like a flashback of Monster Chopper, but Frankie has Chopper, and he's back to normal.
He's back to normal. I don't think he's dead. It's hard to believe even his bros didn't know how to help him. We need to save Nico Robin, right?
I want to save her!
Well, he did defeat one CP9 agent. It ain't easy, but I'll forgive you for attacking me, for the sake of your pals, who protected you even when you were like that. We gotta hurry, but there's no way to get to the gates of justice.
And then it cuts to Chimney and Gonbei.
Hey, Frankie!
Yo, Pipsqueaks! What? You know of a passage to the gates of justice?
Yeah, we do! That's why we're here, to guide you!
Tell me quickly, then I'll tell you and Kokoro what to do.
And then it cuts back to Nami when she was speaking with Frankie earlier.
So that's the only way to stop Chopper. Also, take keys number 3 and 4 and find Robin. One of these might unlock Robin's handcuffs. If they open, contact me using the Secretary's mini transponder snail. I'll free Zoro and Nose King.
I gotcha, but what about after that? Sure, we can get inside, but if we rescue Robin, there's no way we'll make it back so long as the bridge to Eni's lobby is up.
Right, but a Buster Call was just initiated, so there won't be time to retrace our steps anyway.
So
there's nothing to be done. Behind us lies danger. Ahead lies the unknown. Which do you choose?
Since you put it that way, ahead, I guess.
When we're done at the tower, we'll all head to the gates of justice. We'll leave the rest to luck.
To luck?
And that's a flashback. Then we cut back to Frankie in the present, with Kokoro and Chimney and the rest.
No matter what, I've got to deliver the key to Nico Robin on the double. You guys bring the deer and follow behind.
All right,
Goes Kokoro.
Okay,
And then we cut back to the room with Nami, Zoro, and Usopp versus Kaku and Jabra.
You really wasted our time. You really wasted our time.
Really? Really? How can you be joking around about it at a time like this?
Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Blame the idiot.
You're both idiots! Hurry up and get their keys!
And then it cuts to Kaku. Tempest, I want to make sure that I read that you really wasted our time was both Jabra and Kaku who said it, or was it Zoro and Usopp who said it? But Kaku goes with a Tempest kick, and Zoro blocks it.
Straight line!
As instead of like it being like a curved long slash, it's just a beam-like slash that just goes straight forward rather than long ways and forward. It just goes straight.
Hope that neck of yours doesn't give you trouble. Don't worry about that,
Kaku says as he bends his neck out of the way to keep from getting slashed by Zoro.
I gained muscles that let me manipulate my neck and use my nose like a pistol.
And then he rears his head back and then jabs it at Zoro.
Nose pistol!
And it's a big, pretty sizable shockwave from the point of impact.
Whoa!
I know a thing or two about noses. But I've never seen one hit like that.
And then it cuts to Zoro, who kind of gets clipped a little bit, or at least knocked off to the side, by this attack. And then Zoro looks at Kaku, Kaku looks at him. And we see a rock, like a boulder, fall right next to Kaku that has like a big square-shaped hole in it from his nose pistol.
There's a square hole in the Bowser! His nose is even more incredible than Usnipe's!
Who the heck is Usnipe? And don't make pointless comparisons!
Yes, Kaku has gained considerable power,
goes Jabra, as he's just speaking casually. He's just sitting right next to Nami and Usopp.
Hold it right there, Wolf! You're not getting away!
No need to pick a fight. You just want to help your friend, don't you?
That's right! I'm going to take your key!
And then Jabra just tosses the key in front of him.
Then you can have it. Go save Nico Robin.
Huh? What are you?
Look, fella, I really don't want to kill anyone. I don't like blood.
Huh? Well, then I suppose I'll go ahead and...
And then as Usopp bends down to pick up the key, a gleam shoots into Jabra's eye and he licks his lips as Nami screams,
No! Usopp, watch out!
10-finger pistol!
And in a Kamehameha-like fashion, he takes his hands and then jabs all 10 of them in like a big old palm thrust technique, like double palm thrust technique. He jabs all of his sharp clawed fingers directly into Usopp, and Usopp takes a 10-finger pistol full force. It's one thing to take a regular finger pistol and then get it jabbed in your shoulder, but getting 10 fingers all at once, that's just too much.
You shouldn't have let down your guard. I'm a wolf. Turn your back on me and I'll eat you.
And he immediately throws Usopp into the distance.
Usopp!
And then it cuts to Jabra, who's howling as Nami runs. And then we see Usopp, in a heap after impacting into a wall.
Darn it! What was I thinking?
The Max fool. Why don't you try running away like before? You were pretty good at it.
Stop playing around! I don't have time for games! Try my new weapon, Kabuto! Sunflower Star!
And then it cuts to Usopp shooting, and then the bullets kind of split a certain distance from impact and go all around Jabra.
Shave!
And there's an explosion in like a sunflower-like pattern.
Fireworks, eh?
And as Jabra says this, he kicks Usopp directly in the face. This Usopp's face has got to be one of the strongest faces in the entire Straw Hat crew, because this man be taking punishment. This man got hit with like a 4-ton bat back in Alabasta. There's so many moments where his face literally just breaks from so many things happening to it, and he's still fine. Like, fractures all the time, and he gets back up. He's got the toughest face, and he's got one of the toughest faces in One Piece, and the dude doesn't even have any powers.
Usopp!
And then we cut to Usopp, who's laying on the ground. His mask is also kind of broken as well, and his nose is bent in a direction noses should not be bending in. And then Jabra proceeds to kick that same direction once more. He proceeds to kick Usopp while he's down.
Like I promised, you'll die instantly. You won't suffer. If you stayed with your shepherd, you'll be safe now. One little sheep goes astray, and look, the big bad wolf eats him.
And then Zoro's looking for one quick second.
Usopp!
Hey, leave him alone, you dumb wolf.
This is the end for you.
Don't kill him, please! I don't need your key!
Idiot! You'll be the next to die. Why, you? Now die!
And then, all of a sudden, we get your boy Sanji! Ooh! We get your boy Sanji coming in, kicking Jabra directly in the face. Golden. And Usopp's falling, Nami's shocked, Sanji's looking, and Jabra's bloodied face is seen reeling back from this big old kick. And Sanji lands as Jabra lands. And then Sanji lights a cigarette.
Who are you?
And then Sanji, with that lit cigarette, just goes,
The hunter.
And that is the end of chapter 413. Onwards to chapter 414, but we got an SBS. Question. Mr. Oda, I'm sending this letter in our appreciation from France. I'm writing this as a spokesman for more than 1,000 fans of One Piece on the internet. I want everyone to know that One Piece has fans overseas. I especially want Japan's fans to know. Question. Oda-sensei, do you have any delicious French bread? When the question corner starts, I have to eat delicious French bread because I'm French. One last thing. What is this like? Que la volonté de soit avec vous. Mr. Oda, I guess the will of D is with you. So, mind you, I never took up French, so my pronunciation could have absolutely been utter garbage, but apologies. Sign, signez la volonté de D. The will of D. La volonté de D. La volonté de D. Oui, oui. I'm sorry. Answer. Whoa, has the question corner finally reached the world stage? Thank you for going to all the trouble of sending your letter to the editorial department in Japan. And after crossing national boundaries, that's your question? Right now in my house, there is no French bread. I'd like to have some in France someday. Someday, though. I answered your question, but I hear that in France, the One Piece graphic novels are about 10 volumes behind, so you won't read my answer for another 2 years. Stay a fan until then. Thank you. Question. Odachi! These days, I'm having trouble sleeping. Khalifa is the only girl in CP9. When she uses the Iron Body technique of the 6 powers, does she bounce? When I go to confirm, I get covered in bubbles. See? Today too, bubbles smother me. Odachi! Odachi, find out for me. Sign, Kiyoshi Keisuke. Answer. Yep, today we've got another girl crazy question from inside Japan. What the? Are you telling me to go find out instead of you? You think I'm some kind of peeper? And then the answer from Oda is... I answer, she didn't bounce. So, yeah, that happened. Chapter 114, Sanji versus Jabra. And Sanji's in the room with everyone else, standing in front of Usopp after having kicked Jabra. while Jobra's growling at him.
Sanji, how did you get back to normal?
A bathtub fell from the skies and broke the curse. I think it's because I got covered in hot water. More importantly, Nami.
Did you miss me? I wish the bathtub had hit you. Did you miss me?
I wish the bathtub had hit you.
And then Usopp slowly starts to get up.
Ugh. No, Sop!
Not even one syllable matches Sniper King anymore. Sorry, Sanji. I couldn't.
It's enough that you're alive. Everyone has things they can and can't do. Both of you, look outside.
And then it cuts to them seeing outside, and we see the gates of justice.
Oh! The gates of justice! They're starting to open!
When the doors open and Robin...
Oh wait, this is Sanji going.
When the doors open and Robin passes through, the sea beyond will be... When the doors open and Robin passes through, the sea beyond will be swarming with Neptunians. Beyond that is the great prison and Navy headquarters. Robin will soon be beyond our reach.
No! Wasn't Luffy in time?
And then it cuts back to the stairway where Spandam is dragging Robin by the hair. Like literally grabbing her by the hair and then forcing her upstairs.
Come on! I said come on! We're crossing across the bridge!
And, I mean, Robin is seriously hurt because she's bleeding from the mouth a little bit, but also being roughed up by Spandam. Then we cut back to Luffy, who's still contending with Lucci. Then we cut to Frankie, who's in the tunnels on the way.
Will I be in time? I hope I can set Robin free with keys number 3 and 4. Anyway, I've got to stop them.
And then it cuts to Kokoro, who's carrying Chopper, while Chimney is painting arrows to direct everyone where they need to go.
Hurry, Chimney! They'll bomb this tower too! But I have to paint the way or everyone will get lost!
And then it cuts back to Zoro versus Kaku.
Things are about to go from bad to worse.
And that's Sanji saying it. And then it cuts to the government officials going to Navy soldiers trying to pile on to the trains in order to get away from Endy's lobby. Hey, let us on! Impossible, the sea train is full. Bring a ship from another island! And then it cuts back to the Frankie family and the Galila who have freed themselves.
I thought you were awfully calm. You were pretending to be tied up with your own ropes. I was looking for an opening.
What about Big Bro Frankie? They're invincible!
They're invincible. They don't need us worrying about them.
Get away from the island!
As it shows those 10 ships coming through the fog, getting closer and closer to Annie's lobby.
Get away from the island!
10 naval vessels have set sail for the judicial island Annie's lobby.
Even in the worst circumstances lies opportunity.
And this is Sanji.
Leave his key to me. I'll do what you couldn't, and you will do what I couldn't.
Oh,
Substituting players doesn't bother me, goes Jabra. Think about it. Read the situation, goes Sanji. So long as you're here, we're sure to save Robin. Usopp.
And mind you, no one is calling him Sniper King. They're just flat out saying like, we know it's you, Usopp, we're not stupid. Literally none of them are. None of them are. Except for Luffy and Chopper. But Chopper is stupidly innocent, whereas Luffy's just stupid.
So long as you're here, we're sure to save Robin. Usopp.
And then we see Jabra licking his lips again, and he's howling.
me?
Shave. Go.
Yeah, come on, Usopp.
Ow, that hurts my wounds!
Iron Body Kung Fu.
And it cuts to Sanji and Jabra clashing against each other. And Jabra hits Sanji directly in the leg with something called
Wolf Bullet.
And the force is so strong that Sanji gets launched from this attack from Jabra into a nearby wall out into the hallway. Well, near the stairwell.
I get it now.
Huh? What?
I got it. I got it.
Quiet, the wolf will come for you.
Maybe I should kill him.
And before Jabra can even think about going after Nami and Usopp, Sanji comes in and bodies Jabra into a nearby wall. And he just casually walks up to him, like hands in his pockets, cigarette in mouth, just like casually walks up to him like, nah, bro, you running hands with me. You're like, don't look at them, look at me. And Jabra gets up, rubs his head, and he tries to use
10-finger pistol
on Sanji, but Sanji dodges because his reflexes are better than Usopp's.
Troisième Hashi Hash!
And it cuts to Sanji, who jumps up over Jabra. He jumps over him, like using his shoulders leverage, and then brings his legs down directly onto Jabra.
Iron Body! Yeah!
And then Jabra still feels these attacks through his iron body.
Yeah, what the? His kicks are.
And then he audibly says,
That won't work, fool! It's annoying the way you harden like iron. Tempest Kick, Lone Wolf!
As the Tempest Kick jumps, like it skips across the ground rapidly until it winds up blowing up a portion of the wall behind Sanji. And Sanji jumps up in the air, takes a cigarette out of his mouth, and Jabra is on the defensive as Sanji unleashes
Basse Cote Blast! Longue Lasher! Tenderon Tenderizer! Flange Flayer! Quasi Cracker! Q Crippler! Cuisse Crusher! Jade Jade!
And Sanji is just unleashing all of these attacks on to Jabra consecutively. And then Jabra can only watch as Sanji flips around for one final attack with
Full Vengeance! Iron Body Kung Fu!
And then Jabra gets pushed backwards from this attack.
All your harmless cooking attacks are making me hungry like the Wolf Fang!
And it cuts to Jabra, whose hand jabs in a rapid motion, and that hits Sanji and sends him flying backwards.
Gah!
And sends Sanji flying into a wall.
While your moves won't work, my Wolf Fang does. Iron Body Kung Fu, Wolf Fang stance. I'm the only user of the 6 powers who can move with Iron Body applied to his whole being. Tusime Hashi Hash! Iron Body!
And Jabra gets sent into a nearby wall despite him using Iron Body.
That had to have worked. Aw, crap. Admirable. I've been waiting for a fellow like you.
And then Jabra once again tosses the key out in front of him. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice!
Enough of this pointless fighting. Go save Robin. Huh? What are you talking about? I wasn't going to say anything, but Robin and I were parted in childhood. She's my little sister. What? Really? I had no idea. She never mentioned. I'm not surprised, but it's true. Please, save her. All right, just leave it to me. I understand. I'll take this key and go save Robin.
And then it cuts to Jabra, like he did with Usopp, his gleam, that gleam getting in his eye as he smiles, and then he brings his hands up as he's preparing to attack Sanji, but Sanji ain't no fool as he goes,
Your tricks are getting stale. Haven't you heard about the boy who cried wolf?
And immediately hits Jabra with enough force that he sends his head directly into the ceiling or back into the wall with extreme force. And that's the end of chapter 414. Onwards to chapter 415, Heat Up. Ogata, good to see you. And, oh yeah, it was the ceiling. It was actually the upper floor, the upper walkway of where they are right now. So he actually did just kick Jabra's head straight through the the upper platform that they're under. Like his head just goes straight through it.
So Robin's your little sister. Idiot. You'll have to lie better than that.
And then Jabra falls out of this hole right in front of Sanji.
Grr. Did my kick work on you, Wolfie?
You got my key!
You gave it to me, didn't you?
Why, you?
Bye! And then Sanji just takes off.
Wait! Shave!
And while Jabra tries to use Shave to get in front of Sanji, Sanji anticipates it. And before he can even get in front of Sanji, Sanji just delivers a solid kick backwards directly into Jabra's face, sending Jabra backwards a little bit, and while Sanji starts somersaulting after Jabra.
Party table?
Iron Body Kung Fu! Huh?
Soul Crusher!
And immediately hits Jabra directly in his leg. Because he fooled him into thinking he was going to attack from the front, but he appeared behind next to Jabra and hit him directly in the leg. And then he jumps over Jabra.
Brochet blow!
And with a spinning drop kick, with a spinning dive kick, I want to say. A spinning dive kick. He tries to hit Jabra, but Jabra dodges out of the way.
Iron Body Kung Fu! Wolf Fang Stance!
And then Jabra starts jumping all around Sanji and with rapid speed.
Wolf Hunt High Speed Scratch!
And then Sanji barely has enough time to block, but while he's doing so,
a slicing attack?
Iron Body Kung Fu! Dawn Poro!
And with a solid punch, this is the first attack from Jabra that isn't, claw related. He just, with a big old fist, he hits Sanji directly in his side. Ribs. And that sends Sanji flying to the other side of the stairwell room with resounding force.
Moonwalk!
Ugh.
Tempest Kick! Lupus Fall!
And this Tempest Kick is in the shape of multiple heads of wolves as they start to make their way towards Sanji. And then Sanji can only look on as these wolves attack Sanji, and we just see an implosion from the attack hitting the other side. Then we get Jabra, who's standing on the banister of the stairway as he's just howling to himself. I don't howl at all. I've never done that. That's a first for me.
Did you think you could steal my key and just run away? I'm a wolf. I won't stop until you're in my belly.
And then Sanji just casually goes,
I won't run away.
Oh, you're still alive.
I won't let you kill me, and I sure as heck won't go easy on you.
As he starts holding his shoulder, which is, trickling blood a little bit because he got hit.
Go easy on me. So you're angry about Nico Robin. You'll only create an opening for your enemy if you lose your head. If you got time to pity that depressing woman, you'd be better off thinking of a way to save your own life.
And then Sanji gets angry.
Watch what you say. When I get angry, I tend to heat up.
If you can't focus, you'll never win. I'm sure my attacks are working.
Oh wait, if you can't focus, you'll never win. I'm sure my attacks are working.
Iron Body Kung Fu! Devil Wolf!
And it's Jabra who flips over and tries to hit Sanji with his feet. And he winds up launching Sanji into the distance, who hits the ceiling and then falls to the ground. And then Sanji gets up with Jabra laughing at him.
Laugh while you can.
And then it cuts to Sanji, who starts spinning in place at rapid speed.
Huh?
And Sanji just keeps spinning.
I don't know why you're having fun spinning like that, but...
And then Sanji stops with his legs still shaking. And then Jabra is preparing to use his 10-finger wolf pistol on him.
Huh? What's this? His foot turned red.
And then we get it with Sanji having his body up like this. Like, hold on. Sanji having his whole leg up like this. We finally get
Diable Jamba. The high temperature increases the speed of my kick. You might even say,
It's shining.
and then you might even say, it's shining.
And then Sanji hits Jabra full force with this so-called Diable Jamba. And it is also burning hot as well as it hits Jabra, Muay Thai style. Fighting styles are so cool. It hits Jabra and it starts to burn him.
It's hot.
Its destructive force is demonic.
As he sends Jabra flying, burning at the same time to the opposite end of the stairwell with extreme force. And then we see Jabra impacted into the wall with a big old scorch mark on his chest, coughing up blood. And a sizzling sound off of his chest.
Yeah! That's hot! I'm burning up! Even my bones are hot! I think they're broken! Our body doesn't work at all! What kind of a trick was that?
And then Sanji, with all of his strength, just casually jumps across the stairwell. Jumps across the stairwell to go after Jabra.
Idiot! Think you can take to the air against a user of the 6 powers?
Diable Jamba. Premier Hashi Hash.
And then he tries to hit in direction of where Jabra is, but Jabra uses
Moonwalk!
and he's right above Sanji.
Huh?
Fool! Look at you! You got too excited and rushed your attack. I win! Moonlight 10-finger pistol!
And Jabra uses the speed of Moonwalk to shoot straight down towards Sanji with his fingers extended. And then Sanji manages to kick away one of the hands, but the other hand manages to hit Sanji full force in the chest.
You blocked one hand, so close. If your other kick had been in time, you'd have blocked all the finger pistols.
On the contrary, the other kick was to finish you off.
Huh?
Diable Jamba.
Wait! Flambe!
And as we see Sanji's feet meet the neck and face of Jabra, we just see the area light up. Jabra's eyes go wide over.
Flambe Chateau!
And he ends up hitting Jabra with enough force to send him straight towards the ground. And the board just impacting the ground with extreme force. I know I said extreme force, but that's what it is. Extreme force. Just extreme speed and force. And that is the end of chapter 415. We got another SBS, and then we can move on to chapter 416. Question. I'll get right to it. The Reader's Corner, S, set. B, birthdays, S, simply is almost becoming a regular feature. So I like to lay down some birthdays for the Water 7 and CP9 story arcs. Iceberg. That looks to be July. That looks to be January 3rd. Frankie is the 9th of March. Polly is... Dang it, I messed up my months. Is July the 8th. Rob Lucci is June the 2nd. Kaku is August 7th. And Khalifa is April the 23rd. Secretary's Day, apparently. That should be all right, shouldn't it? Good luck with your work, Sensei. Signed, Exam Student. Parts of each character's name can suggest numbers in Japanese. The reader made up the birthdays by combining the associated numbers, and this is something that the editor said. Answer. Oh, I see, so that's how it is. Is there such a thing as Secretary's Day? Yeah. Okay, let's go with those dates. So a lot of the birthdays of a lot of characters in the story of One Piece were made up by people from the question corner. Not every single one was based off of Oda. Some of them were literally just fans making up birthdays for people. Question. I've got a question. If the Kami Eneru came down to the Blue Sea, how much would the reward for him be? Also, what would happen to the Blue Sea? Sign, Gorozoro. Answer. I see. Interesting question. The reward would probably go over 500 million, considering how troublesome Eneru is. Luffy lucked out because he's rubber, but like Luffy said, there are other guys out there on the Blue Sea who surpass him in strength. Eneru can't be number one, so even as strong as Eneru is, there's just far too many people that exist out in the world of One Piece that would just casually no-diff Eneru. Just casually. There's so many people who can do that. Chapter 416, Zoro versus Kaku. All right. And as you said, Ozzy, 3 down, 2 to go. The only ones left is Kaku and Lucci, the strongest members of CP9. There's only 2 of them left. I love this story. We cut to Jabra with broken teeth, broken shades, broken face, and broken ground.
Gods create food, and demons create the spices.
As it shows Diable Jamba slowly simmering down from Sanji's leg.
But perhaps this dish was a little too spicy for you.
As he just casually walks away after basically cratering an entire Zoan user. So here's the thing about Zoan users. For those who don't know, many of you will already know this. But Zoan users, when they go into their man-beast transformations, their ability, their physical abilities, such as durability and strength and speed, all of that gets turned up to a 10. So, when a normal person, is able to beat a Zoan user who's assumed their man-beast form, which is stronger than their full animal forms, that just tells you just how strong that individual is. If you can beat a Zoan user in their man-beast transformation, that's a clear indicator of just how strong you are. So for Sanji to do this even back then, your boy was already destined for greatness in the future. But I won't go into further details. Y'all is gonna have to find out on your own. But it cuts to Sanji, who's looking up as it cuts to the upper half of the roof, as you know, it still got sliced off by Kaku's big old Tempest kick. And Sanji's just looking up.
It's Giraffe and Mosshead. Are they trying to topple the tower?
And then it cuts to the sign left by Chimney and Kokodo. Gates of Justice, underground passage, that way, with arrows pointing over there.
Looks like Nami and the others are already on their way to Robin. I've got to hurry and deliver key number 1.
And then it cuts to Spandam, who steps out with Nico Robin. Sorry, there was something I was looking for specifically. It doesn't happen until much later into this volume. Who steps out into the open with Robin.
We're out. We're above the bridge of hesitation.
Look, Nico Robin, the gates of justice are opening to welcome me. I've waited a long time for this day. Once I pass through, I'll be the government's number 1. No, I'll be the world's hero. The bridge leading beyond the gate will soon be raised. The bridge awaits a hero to cross it. All right, let's go. Time to cross, Nico Robin.
And then it cuts to Frankie, who's, making his way over to where they are.
I gotta hurry. If I don't make it in time, what's the point? I see something.
Approximately 10 minutes to our arrival at our destination. All ships, report. As it cuts to the warships for the Buster Call getting even closer. Getting even closer to Annie's lobby.
Is this the exit?
Says Frankie, and then something impacts right next to him.
Whoa!
And it's Luffy, because Frankie just ran into the room with Luffy, versus Lucci.
Yeah, Strawhead Luffy!
Frankie! What are you doing here, you jerk? Stop hating on me!
Stop hating on me, we're on the same side now, give it a rest! Lucci, you're going up against him? Where's Nico Robin? I brought 2 keys.
And Hot Toddy is in the background just flying around.
Need a hand with him?
No, it's better if you go stop Robin. Go through the door behind Pigeon Guy, to the gates of justice. They already took Robin that way. I'll take care of him.
Super, leave it to me.
And then Lucci's just laughing to himself. Then we cut back to Kaku fighting Zoro. Don't mess with me, pirate. I'll eat you alive.
That's funny coming from a herbivore.
And then Zoro takes his bandana off of his arm and wraps it around his head.
Anyway, Robin's running out of time. I'm taking the key now. 2-sword style. Nigiri.
Does that bandana make you stronger?
Let's find out. Tower climb.
And then Zoro slashes upwards, which Kaku dodges. And then, while he's still airborne, he tries to hit Kaku again.
Tower climb return. Flash. Ripple.
And it shows Zoro constantly clashing against Kaku. With Flash and Ripple, and Kaku is either defending with his nose or bending his neck out of the way to avoid Zoro altogether. In the air, one has blind spots, as Kaku starts spinning his neck around and hits Zoro with Giraffe Scythe, and sends him flying into the distance.
Ugh. Iron Body. Edgewise.
And then, you was about to say with giraffes being herbivores, yeah, but Kaku then starts bending his body around into like a square-like shape. Like he starts bending his neck around his body and his whole body starts to shift around.
Iron Body. Edgewise.
And then Kaku's just sitting directly in front of Zoro, like his whole body is in the shape of a cube.
Now that I'm a perfect cube, you can't get a shot in.
Shut up! What are you doing?
Maybe you haven't noticed, but giraffes have 4 legs.
Tempest Kick!
And then it's just like Kaku, his arms are very short, but he starts rapidly moving his arms like just starts shaking them incredibly fast, going, "What do you mean?
Do you even Tempest Kick? Do you even want to fight?
What do you mean? My attack has already begun."
Huh? And then Zoro looks up and he sees something shining in the roof above him.
What? First it goes up, then it hits the ceiling, and now it comes raining down. Giraffe shower!
So all of those Tempest Kicks that Kaku was doing were just smaller versions that would rebound off the roof and then just rain down over Zoro. And Zoro is left to vigorously trying to defend himself.
Iron Body!
As the hits hit Kaku, but it doesn't affect him because of Iron Body, but Zoro's getting sliced all over.
Falling strikes. What a pain. There's too much of it. I can't dodge it.
Then there's a slice. Another slice as it shows Zoro's body completely covered in cut marks. And then Kaku gets up and tries to hit Zoro with a
nose pistol,
which Zoro defends against, but it's not enough to keep from getting sent flying backwards into another section of the room, destroying some scenery around as he does.
Why, you still alive? I'm impressed.
And then Zoro just spits out some blood.
It'll take more than a horse to keep me down.
A horse? I'm a giraffe.
You look horsey to me.
Of course not. Of course I'm not a horse.
Here, horsey, horsey, horsey.
So here's the thing. This is something I would expect from 4Kids to say. Because Zoro was not above like making kitty child sounds towards characters in that horrible dub. So seeing that here horsey, horsey, horsey part, it just reminds me of how he was making fun of Usopp and also calling Mr. One a dog during the Alabasta arc and even making dog barking sounds as well. So that kind of reminded me of the 4Kids dub with that
here horsey, horsey, horsey.
Ah, shut up, you're going down. Ah, shut up, you're going down. Huh, I won't let you make fun of me. First, I'm gonna break your iron body. Single sword style. Yai draw and resheath technique. Lion. Tempest kick. Song. Dragon cut.
And they both hit past one another.
Could you have cut me if I'd been metal? It's up to me to decide whether to take an attack with iron body or something else.
I see. This isn't going to be easy. And then Zoro just blows out a big old breath.
1 gorilla. 2 gorilla.
And it shows Zoro's arms like pumping up like they're even bigger than before. Like his muscles get even bigger. And he puts his swords over his head.
3 sword style.
And then Kaku rears his head back to use nose pistol again.
2 gorilla cut. Nose pistol. Yeah. What amazing strength.
And then this time, Zoro's the one to send Kaku flying in the reverse direction.
You're the type to get all high and mighty, never thinking you might someday fall. It's time to get your head out of the clouds. I'd say the same of you.
Almost said something stupid, then I remember that Keppas are more related to giraffes than horses are. Are they the ones that have like the slightly long necks but can't be classified as giraffes? I think I've seen those animals before.
It's time to get your head out of the clouds. I'd say the same to you. I say the same of you.
And that's the end of chapter 416. Onwards to chapter 417. Asura. And then it has Zoro standing directly in front of Kaku, who's, still recoiling after getting knocked away by Zoro.
I still haven't shown you the hidden strength of the wild beast known as the giraffe. Enough talk. Show me. You don't have to tell me.
As Kaku gets on all fours, and then he stretches his neck out long ways.
Observe the giraffe's power.
And then he starts to pull his neck in on itself. Like, he starts to pull his neck in on itself, like multi-locks.
Giraffe cannon.
Real giraffes aren't like that.
Extreme nose pistol.
And then he aims at Zoro. And he just barely manages to dodge out of the way as Kaku unleashes a giraffe blast, which has him shoot his face. Like, shoot his neck out, like he's spring-loading his neck in on itself and then shoots it out with extreme speed with a giraffe blast. They're the ones that are brown but have zebra stripes on their legs. Ah, I know what you mean. I know that one.
Ugh, it grew?
And then it cuts to Kaku, whose neck is all the way out, while Zoro sees an opportunity.
See? It's just like I said. Your long neck is your weakness. Not at all. Tempest kick. Spinning white blade.
As Kaku starts twisting his neck, and thus the rest of his body with extreme speed, that causes Tempest kick slashes to emanate from all over Kaku in this swirling type motion, which Zoro has to defend against. Then it cuts to Kaku, who's airborne while his body is still, spinning in the air. And Zoro is sent flying in the reverse direction.
You're the one who's weak. What kind of creature is he? You won't escape this next one. Giraffe cannon.
And then as Kaku pulls his neck in, his legs suddenly get long.
Huh? Uh-oh. I pulled my neck in so far my legs grew.
Just how does your body work?
It's like a pasta machine. You put in dough and noodles come out. Pasta machine!
This is no time for naming techniques. As it cuts to Kaku, who's now standing up with long arms and long legs and his neck pushed into itself.
A long neck is nice, but I can also use my long legs. A seasoned warrior like me can turn unforeseen circumstances into an opportunity. Behold as I unleash a devastating new long neck attack!
And then there's silence as Kaku looks like he's preparing. And then he just goes,
Giraffe blast! You already did that one!
So Kaku really didn't have a new one. He didn't have a new one, he just couldn't think of anything and just decided to use the same thing
I'm getting sick of this guy. 3-sword style. Dragon. Twister!
And then Kaku gets hit by this Dragon Twister. We don't see blood yet because Kaku also uses
Iron Body! Gah, such strength! Moonwalk!
and it cuts to Kaku, who moonwalks into the air.
What the? He jumped to a higher floor.
Pasta Machine!
As Kaku comes right back down, and he's using his swords now.
Now this is more like it. If I can control the length of my neck and limbs, I can use swords to full effect.
As he's using his dual swords against Zoro, and they continue to clash against one another.
I too can perform the 4-sword style. In this way, I can make full use of my giraffe power. There's no way you can win.
Your giraffe strength. The way you can retract your cumbersome neck and your 4-sword style. Not one of those things is a reason you'll beat me. 3-sword style. Leopard spinning.
He's flying towards me. Balls!
Leopard spinning balls? I never heard of this attack. I never heard of this attack before.
Leopard spinning balls!
He's flying towards me. Paper art!
And then Kaku just like bends out of the way. And he's laughing, but Zoro still winds up hitting him directly in his side. So this is the first time that Zoro draws blood from him.
Gah! Ugh. Impossible. I'm sure I dodged them all. Did he read my moves? I guess I underestimated you a bit. It won't happen again. You won't get a second chance. Tempest Kick! Shuriken!
And shurikens, Tempest Kicks in the shape of shurikens just shoot towards Zoro from Kaku. And Zoro just blocks them all.
Giraffe Blast!
And Kaku hits Zoro full force.
Uh-oh. Another perk of a long neck. Whiplash!
And then Kaku just starts, like, slamming his long neck and head all over Zoro. Just like, bam, bam. Just picture a giraffe neck and how they fight each other. By slapping necks together, imagine a giraffe doing that by hitting the ground repeatedly over a regular human. That's basically what Kaku's doing.
Let's speed this up. Fear Smash!
As instead of just wildly slamming his head against Zoro, he aims his nose at Zoro for, multiple nose pistol type hits.
Now for my next trick, a 4-sword assault. Fury Slash!
So we had Whiplash, Fear Smash, and then Fury Slash. And all of this Zoro's trying to defend against.
His attack is fierce.
And then Zoro gets hit in the shoulder a little bit, and he's sent backwards, still trying to defend himself, but also still getting hit.
Why you?
And then Kaku can only look on as it gets to a point where it looks like Kaku sees something on Zoro, but then it just shows Zoro pointing his one sword at Kaku.
What just happened? For a moment there, he looked like a demon god with 3 heads and 6 arms. You're getting sloppy.
Then I'll use the strongest Tempest Kick of all, Sky Slicer, which cut through the tower to cut you in two.
And it cuts to Kaku, who starts spinning around in place in order to use Sky Slicer on Zoro again.
Give up. There's nowhere to run. This isn't at all like your display earlier.
Idiot. You're the one who's gonna give up. Demon Aura. 9-sword style. Ashura.
And it shows Zoro with 6 arms, multiple heads, and all of his blades just like pointed in different directions, like a face over on one side pointing that way with arms pointing that way, and a face over there with swords pointing that way, and a face in the front with swords in front of him. So he's literally just covered in blades, so to speak.
Ugh, it's the demon god from before. He can create such visions through sheer willpower? Impressive, but too late.
You're also the one who's too late.
Save such immodest statements for after you've dodged this Tempest Kick. Sky Slicer!
And then Kaku launches the Sky Slicer straight towards Zoro. And before this slice is like, it's literally in front of Zoro's face in this panel. Before it even hits him, Zoro speeds forward and breaks straight through this Sky Slicer.
He turned his slicing attack into mist. Pain and suffering. That is the path that lies before you. Ashura, Silver Mist!
And then we see Zoro, just like with Mr. One, except with even more swords all around him because of this Ashura stance he has. We see Kaku just completely get cut up by this big, massive slice. And Kaku's eyes have widened over, and we see the blood from the slash itself. And that is the end of chapter 417. We got an SBS, then we can move on to chapter 418, then the final 419, and that'll be the end of volume 43. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to do this, for me to read One Piece for all of you. Thank you. This is by far one of the most fun endeavors I've ever taken part in. Thank you. So, on to the SBS. Question. What's up? Nice to meet you, Ochin. At my school, we call you Ochin. Now, here's my question. Please tell me how beautiful a person can get with Sanji's plastic surgery shot, which we saw in Volume 39, Chapter 372. Sign 34590. It's really just the numbers there. Answer. Really beautiful. As you can tell from Wanzei's example, you can get a beautiful face equal to those of top international movie stars. But there are two drawbacks. First, Sanji can't kick girls. Also, it's only your face that changes. If you're fat, the balance will be off, even if your face improves, so it will look weird. So you can have a face of like the Giga Chad, but you can have a body like Wings of Redemption. So that mix would be an anomaly. Question. Good work, Mr. Oda. Please answer this unimportant question, which has been bothering me. Manga volumes usually have 9 chapters, but One Piece sometimes has 10 or 11. Why is that? The books have recently been kind of thick. The story has been intense too. Sign, John. Answer. Okay, I'll take you behind the scenes. Graphic novels have to have at least 184 pages. 9 chapters are enough, but if I want to include more chapters no matter what, because I'm selfish, I can force in 10 or 11. Put another way, it's a service for the readers. For me, it's all about the story, and that's the reason why we adore Oda so much. A while back, when a 9-chapter book followed an 11-chapter book, readers complained because the book were thinner. Now you know why such things happen, because people like thick One Piece books. And that's the end of SBS. Chapter 418, Luffy versus Rob Lucci. And as you said, Ozzy, there's only one left. And we begin this chapter with Kaku being cut down by Zoro. And then we see Kaku turning back into his human form as he slumps onto the ground. Unconscious.
I've got a message from the young leader of Galila. If you meet them, tell them, you guys are fired.
And then Zoro takes off his bandana and walks away. And then Kaku goes,
Polly said that? No, what a mess. They say assassins can never find other work. There's always a zoo. You said it.
And then Kaku brings out his key, and he coughs, and then he drops the key, because he's down.
Sorry.
And then, yeah, Kaku's completely unconscious now. Then we cut back outside as we get people saying,
Run! Run faster!
Run like you'd never run before!
Zoro and his one-liners, golden. It is. It's so good. It's so good. But we got Zombai.
Run like you never ran before! Our number one priority, is to survive so our big brothers don't have to worry about us. Get all!
As Paulie's running with them. And then everyone from Galila and the Frankie family are going,
Run for your lives! Even if you feel like your legs are gonna fall off!
And then it cuts to Oimo and Kashi, who's really the one doing all the running, because everyone is on top of the backs of Sadamu and Gamora riding, and everyone's all like, and Kashi is going,
You guys are just riding, so quiet down a little.
Run! We're counting on you the giants? Give us a break!
As they're all the members of the Frankie family and Galila are just on the seats of Sadamu and Gamora as they're just yelling, like, even if your legs give out! So it makes you seem like they're running, but they're really just riding, telling the giants who's doing all the heavy lifting to run.
Go forth for the honor of Elbaf!
Pipe down!
And then it cuts to Sanji, who runs into the room with Kaku and Zoro.
Hey, Mosshead, where's the key?
I just got it.
The tower slipped again. Is it gonna hold?
Does it matter? At any rate, now we've got all the keys. Let's hurry to Robin. And then it cuts back to old lady Kokoro as she's still going through the tunnel.
Granny, hurry! I'm old. Go easy on me.
And then it cuts to the bridge that's been fully extended above ground.
At last, the way is open. I can't stop laughing.
Hey, you guards of the gates of justice! Where's the honor guard? The hero Spandam is passing through!
And then Robin is just steadily saying, like she just says, ow.
Just a minute.
Just a minute, sir.
Sheesh! Those idiots. Look, Nico Robin. That small gate is the real entrance. The single step necessary to pass through signals the end of your miserable existence and marks the moment I engrave my name in history.
And Robin is just looking, and then her heart starts beating, and she tries to move away, but then Spandam pulls her by the hair.
Hold on! Where do you think you're running to? To tell the truth, I feel for you. You have no reason to live, but it can't be helped.
And he's saying this with like this weird psychotic grin on his face. But Robin literally rips out of his grasp, like even having some of her hair pulled out as she rips away from Spandam.
What the? That woman! Hold it right there!
And it cuts to Spandam, who slams onto Robin, and you see a chomp sound effect.
Stop that right now! Huh? What? Let go!
As it cuts to Robin, who's using her teeth to keep from being lifted up by Spandam.
What are you? Stop biting the bridge! What a rotten loser you are! Ugh! Your obsession with living is disgusting! You choose the life of a criminal. Now you have to pay! The only good act you can do in this world is to die! Is this how you want to go? As a coward? Get up!
And it cuts to Robin. I actually feel the psychotic nature of Spandam in there. It's not very often where I shake my face in frustration and anger. It's like, I'm getting into this story.
I'm so afraid of death. I don't want to die. Just have to hold on a little longer. A little while longer. Everyone will come to save me. How many times do I have to say it? There is no hope for you!
Then we cut back to Luffy versus Lucci. And as he tries to hit Lucci, Lucci shaves and uses finger pistol, Yellow Lotus. And with the multiple hits with the finger pistol hits Luffy all over his body. And since his body is rubber, it doesn't really work all that well. But he still sends Luffy flying regardless.
Straw Hat! No, my mission is to get through that door.
And then while Frankie's making his way to the door, Lucci shaves in front of him while he goes, give it up.
Strong Hammer!
Iron Body. And then Lucci, not moving, withstands the iron hammer, the strong hammer, not iron hammer, but strong hammer from Frankie.
No way! You didn't give an inch! But I sent that Fukudo freak flying.
I see. You beat Fukudo and came here. Sorry, but my power level is 5 times stronger than his. And he proceeds to hit Frankie multiple times with finger pistols directly into his midsection. And when you see it in the anime, all you just see is the finger moving at rapid speed, but then just the shower of blows emanating from Frankie's torso. I'm impressed that you beat Fukudo. You too are enough of a superhuman. But
this guy's on a whole other level.
It's time to die. Gum Gum! Jet Pistol! And then, using Gear Second, Luffy hits Lucci directly with Jet Pistol. And you actually see a little blood emanate from Lucci from the point of impact as he sends him flying to the opposite end.
What happened to you? What's with all the smoke? Gear 2.
Or Gear Second.
Gear 2.
I can't do this for long, but I'll hold him off. You go on ahead, Frankie. Robin is waiting!
All right, Straw Hat. I don't know what's going on, but use whatever it is to finish him off.
I told you before. I'm not going to let that happen, as it shows Lucci getting up and assuming his man-beast leopard form.
You're a devil fruit power user too?
First, I'm going to get rid of you, Frankie. And then, as Lucci tries to speed towards Frankie, Luffy gets in front of him and then hits Lucci with Jet Whip! And he hits Lucci directly in the face with this, and that causes blood to shoot out as well and topple Lucci again.
Have you forgotten, Straw Hat Luffy, that I beat you with a single push at the Galley Law Mansion while in this form?
Oh, that? I ate some meat and got over it.
Shave! Finger pistol!
And then Luffy is out of the way of it, like he disappears just like Shave, and he's right above Lucci. Gum Gum!
Iron Body!
Jet Bazooka! And Lucci, despite using Iron Body, gets hit by this, and he, spits up blood again. Then we cut back to the surface, as we see Spandam.
Look at you! How far the feared have fallen! Stop making a fool of yourself, silly woman! Let's go! Come on! Into the beautiful, bright future we go!
As he's slowly trying to drag Robin towards the entrance to the Gates of Justice. Then we cut back to Frankie opening the doors and managing to get past Lucci. Frankie! Look after Robin!
Super! Leave it to me!
And that is the end of chapter 418. We got one more SBS and then we get to the final chapter of this volume. I think I'm going to finish this before 2 hours. Wow. And I didn't monologue as much. Good. I'll try and keep that up for the rest of the volume so that way you guys will not be unimmersed. Question. I've got a question, Oda-sensei. Did you make up the story about Klabatamen that appears in chapter 351 of volume 37, or does such a story actually exist? Please tell me. Signed, someone sort of behind the Luffy pirate gang. Answer. Numerous legends around the world tell of a ship's spirit, Klabatamen, is spoken of among German sailors. In Japan, we call a ship's spirit Funadama. Maybe it's easiest to think of it as a guardian spirit of ships. It was once believed that if Klabatamen was on a ship, it would sail safely. Question. When it comes to square things, Kako and his long nose come to mind, but there's something even more square. In panel 3, along the left-hand side of page 131, in volume 35, there's a guy whose whole head is square. What is he? Tell me. Don't be a square. Signed, a prince somewhere. Answer. Yeah, he's there, and I'll tell you fair and square. His name is Blockhead. Is that too off the top of my head? Let's see. He's extremely pointy-headed, and I hear he loves getting into four-sided debates, and he hates being cornered. That's the kind of person he is. If that's too off the top of my head, see you next time in the question corner. It's over already! And that's the end of the SBS. Onwards to the last chapter of this volume. Chapter 419, Legend of a Hero.
Hey, look! That's never happened before! You're right. I didn't even think it was possible. The gates of justice are wide open!
It's to let the Navy warships in! It's for the Buster Call barrage!
And then he cut to Polly. I could have sworn that old lady Kokoro said the gates would never fully open.
What?
Why is everyone scared? What's a Buster Call?
The Straw Hats picked a fight with the whole world!
Is the government really taking out the whole island just to get rid of them? Yeah! Don't die, big bro!
Come back alive, Straw Hats!
Then we cut back to Luffy versus Lucci. Round 3 is about to begin. Prepare yourself, Rob Lucci. Oh, yes.
Frankie's gone to save Robin. I was careless. I didn't think you had this much power. You're breathing pretty heavily, though. Is it because of the steam? Beating you is all that matters. I see how tough you are.
And then it cuts to Frankie running up the stairs that Spandam and Robin were going through.
Please let me be in time. Don't leave me yet, Nico Robin.
The end of the Bridge of Hesitation. Gate guards, outside! Yes, sir. The haven for ships bound for Navy HQ and the seafloor prison impel down. The convoy will soon be ready to depart. Gate guards of the Gates of Justice, Navy Headquarters convoy. Director Spandam of CP9 is escorting a criminal of the utmost importance across the bridge from the Tower of Law. Line up and salute! Sir, yes, sir! And they're all just waiting there for Spandam, who's slowly trying to drag Robin all the way to the convoy.
Behold, everything is ready for departure. Nothing can stop me now. Nico Robin, would you like to know a little secret? There's a landmine at the top of the stairs we just climbed. I turned it on. If by chance someone should try to follow us, they and the stairs will be blown to bits. Neat, huh?
And Robin doesn't say anything as she's being dragged by Spandam. Mind you, she's been bleeding this whole time. So from her face, while she's being dragged, is like a small trail of blood from her, her suffering at the hands of Spandam.
Not that it's necessary. No one would ever make it as far as those stairs.
You're wrong. We won't make it through the gates.
What?
As it cuts to Frankie, who's running up the stairs still. And then Robin says,
They said they would save me.
No one's coming, you silly woman! Everyone will burn up in the Buster Call's flames. The Buster Call will even erase the shame of pirates shooting our sacred flag. Just as we erased that traitorous giant at Ohara 20 years ago.
Huh?
Let's go. Walk on your own 2 feet.
Saul?
Why, you?
And then it cuts to, Spandam doing his best to try and yank Robin. Director, you have to hurry!
I know! Shut up! I'm a hero! You must think I know nothing about the misconduct of former Navy Vice Admiral Jaguar D. Saul, and about what happened that time on Ohara with your mother Olvia. I know everything! I heard all about it! The one who set foot on Ohara, land of demons! The one who exposed your mother's crime and gave the signal for the Buster Call! The man who was director of CP9 at the time was my father, Spandine!
And that is the moment where Robin wakes up. She had her eyes closed, reserved to her fate, but still hoping for her friends. But that's when her eyes open, and then you see like rings upon rings in her eyes. When you see one or two in the eye, it's like one in the eye, it's all like, oh, this person is like either shocked, scared, or angry. But multiples open up with Robin, and she has a angry look on her face.
Your death penalty has just been confirmed.
And then it cuts to when Spandine was there, laughing, him shooting Professor Clover.
Professor! I found you. Evacuation ship, do not let that girl on board. Everyone on Ohara at the time died. The government lost track of a little rat that escaped. What was it like, being an 8-year-old brat hunted by mercenaries? You couldn't trust anyone. You couldn't rest or sleep anywhere. You didn't have any food. I don't even want to think about how awful those 20 years must have been. Thinking about it still makes you cry.
As it shows Robin crying, knowing that the perpetrator of all of her pain from her past, his son, is directly in front of him, and he's proud of it.
It was my father who all those years ago placed the bounty on your head. He knew what had to be done for world peace.
And then Robin continues to tear up.
And now, 20 years later, I, his son, have hunted down the girl that got away. The curtain falls on the Battle of Ohana. That wretched island will be wiped from history!
I kind of like this moment, okay? It's bringing out the utter crazy. And then it cuts back to Saul.
You must one day take on the duty of telling this island's history, Robin. Ohana fought against the world.
And then Robin screams out,
I'm alive!
But you're going to die!
and then there's an explosion that happens at the stairs.
Woo! What the?
And it's Frankie who got hit.
Cutty Flam! The landmine! Why is he here?
And then it cuts to Frankie falling into the ocean.
But he tripped the mine! That fool, the fool, that idiot tripped it!
He came to save me.
This is no good. I'm glad I was prepared. Hurry, come on!
As he's dragging Robin.
It can't end like this.
Launch! Launch the ship, Navy men! I'll jump on!
Yes, sir! Depart! Yes, sir!
It can't end like this.
Watch closely. This next step will engrave my name in history as a hit.
And before Spandam can say anything, Spandam gets shot right in the face. Well, the whole body, actually. He gets hit directly in the body, sent flying into the distance over his own escort. And Robin looks on in shock as we see Spandam land on the boardwalk right behind him. Director! Who? Why? There's no one on the bridge!
That can't be. He's hiding here somewhere. Find him!
Huh? And then all of a sudden, all these other Navy dudes get hit. All these dudes get sniped, if you will.
Hey! What are you lot doing? Arrest him! Hey, what are you lot doing? Arrest him!
As Spandam gets up. But Director, we can't locate the enemy! And then that another Navy soldier gets hit. All of them start to get hit all over the place. Oh, there he is! Director, it's him!
What? Where?
On top of the Tower of Law!
The Tower of Law? What can he do from up there?
And then it cuts to this man. A man with a cape and a big old slingshot and his mask as he stands with his finger pointed to the air. As Spandam goes,
Who is that? From that distance? In this wind? How can he shoot so accurately?
I was born to shoot, and I hit with 100% accuracy. La 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 loo la li la li loo.
I know I'm butchering the song.
Who is that masked man?
It's Long Nose.
Look, isn't our sharpshooter awesome? Take that, you jerks! Run, Robin!
Does he have to sing? As it shows Sanji. Loo la la loo. Yeah, there it is. Does he have to sing? As it shows Zoro and Sanji standing there underneath him.
Why that little?
And then, before Spandam can say anything, he gets shot in the face. Again! Director!
Yeah! What are you doing? Hurry up and kill him!
We're shooting, but the bullets won't reach, much less hit him. That sniper is really good. And then it cuts to Robin, who starts to run away. Nico Robin is getting away!
Don't let her escape! Shoot, fools! Don't let her escape! Shoot, fools! I want her alive, but shoot to kill!
You want her alive, but shoot to kill? You're contradicting yourself in the same sentence. Huh? And then, as Robin's looking back, Usopp prepares a fire, and they fire it towards Robin, and the shots hit, but they don't hit Robin. What? Huh? What the? Why isn't he dead? Because it's Frankie, who pops in right in between Robin and the bullets and takes all of them. and they just bounce off of him because his front is bulletproof.
You.
I'm strong because I'm made of steel. A landmine won't work, Spanda.
And then it cuts to someone going,
Frankie, can you hear me, Frankie?
oh wait, Frankie.
Can you hear me, Frankie? This is Sniper King.
Huh? A transponder snail? How did you...
I got it from Nami. There should be a bunch of red cloth there somewhere.
Yeah, found it.
Inside are 2 keys. Add them to yours, and you'll have them all. All the keys!
Goes Spandam as he's shocked to hear this.
Special delivery.
Roger that.
Goes Sanji. We should hurry. This doesn't look good. So in this small red cloth that's behind Frankie are the rest of the keys, including the key to Robin's handcuffs. And when those cuffs come off, the gloves come off. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the final chapter of Volume 43 of One Piece. Real quick, we got like a popularity thing. I'm only going to go over like the first page because it's going to be kind of long afterwards. I want to beat this, but I want to get past this. I want to get this done before 2 hours. We got a popularity poll, the third One Piece character popularity poll. First place, Luffy. Second, Zoro. Third place, Sanji. Fourth, Chopper. Fifth, Robin. Sixth, Usopp. Seventh, Nami. And then there's a ton of other people. Like, it really does stretch on like a whole bunch of other pages. Like, right after Nami as a favorite, popularity-wise, is Mihawk, just to give you a rough idea. Then you got Kaku, then Ace, then 11th is Shanks, Lucci, Frankie, Captain Smoker, Vivi, Aokiji, Jabra, Paulie, and the list just goes on and on. But we're done, ladies and gentlemen. We are done. The Water 7 volumes will end on volume 46, officially. But that's also when Thriller Bark will start. So we only got 3 more volumes to go through before we are done with Enies Lobby and Water 7. Can y'all believe it? We're about to enter into Thriller Bark. We're getting close. This week, we're going to be entering into the Thriller Bark arc. I can't wait! But we're done, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and end this before I hit 2 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone who decided to come by and watch today, thank you for your patience. Thank you for just, contributing to this channel's success, both financially and supportively. I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for me. You guys are a blessing to me because what I do here would be meaningless if I didn't share it with others. So thank you for joining me on this One Piece journey. Can't wait to see you all tomorrow. So to everyone here, all I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video because we're going to be playing Final Fantasy 16 later on today. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, and share the stream with everyone you know because the more the merrier, and because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples, I am hyped up right now.